Hello and welcome to another Blues focused preview. My name is Sam Sheppy and I'm going to be taking you through the action that's set to unfold on Saturday as Blues take on Leyton Orient at the Gaughan Group Stadium, although we all know it as Brisbane Road. And it was a great game, wasn't it, against Wickham last week with a 3-2 scoreline, pretty emphatic in the way that it was. I don't think the scoreline was a representation of how the game really was. Obviously, Wickham got their noses in front for a Christian Bielik own goal, and then we hit back with goals of our own with Alfie May once again scoring right place, right time. And then the second goal as well. It was nice play, wasn't it, out wide from substitute Yokoyama on his debut, squaring the ball for Luke Harris to come across and tap the ball in for his first goal in Birmingham colours. And then the third goal as well, which was nice to see with Williamson getting off the score sheet and getting his first goal for Birmingham City as well, the £4 million man. So really good to see. And then that late Wickham comeback, wasn't it, with that Sam Vokes header, which got a few nerves jangling at the away end. I was at the game and it was just a fantastic atmosphere throughout the whole game, really. It's kind of one of them games where when we went down to League One, that's the kind of away day that I was hoping for. And a lot of away fans will hopefully get to experience that camaraderie in the Birmingham away end, because last season we did not see many wins away from home, did we? So thankfully, we're going to have a few more wins away from home this season and a few more wins on the board in general. And we take on Leyton Orient next, which I'm sure is going to be a tough task. You know, Leyton Orient finished 11th in League One last season. Rishi Wellens is their manager. Rule Sutria was their top goal scorer last season, although now he's gone to Bristol Rovers. So they're a bit of a changed outfit, and I think they're struggling somewhat at the start of this season because they've lost both of their opening games in League One, with them losing 2-1 at home to Bolton Wanderers on the first day of the season, then losing 1-0 to Charlton. So they've had a bit of a turbulent start, but I'm sure they're going to be up for it in this game, as a lot of home teams are when Birmingham come to town. As with the whole, away situation, we all know what's happening, don't we, with the £32 ticket prices and not many away fans being allocated to us. But, oh, well, we're just going to have to go through it, I guess, and persevere with it. And I know there's going to be away grounds this season where there isn't going to be many tickets available. But if you can get yourself down to the away game, then do, because they're just fantastic to go to, especially this season with the smaller grounds and everything like what I just said. Obviously, the 31st game against Wigan, that could be a sellout as well. So it's just fantastic to see all the fans on board with what's happening at Birmingham and what's happening on the pitch as well, because Chris Davis already seems to be a fan favourite, doesn't he? Which is really good to see and really refreshing as well to see, the manager come over after the Wigan game and do the cheers to the crowd, as well as Bielik doing the cheers to the crowd. So it's just a really good thing to see, isn't it, with this camaraderie and the style of football as well, which I think is great to see as well, with us dominating possession. I mean, in League One, we had the most amount of possession last game week and the most amount of passes completed as well. So we can really see what Chris Davis is trying to do with the team. And these technically gifted players, Mark Leonard's been superb since he's come in. Paxson, who I know he came in January, but really looks at home in this system with his passing range. And then from the back as well, we've got Christophe Clara, who made his first league start against Wickham on Saturday. And he looked really comfortable, didn't he, alongside Christian Bielik. And he's definitely one to watch for the championship, I guess, going forward, because there could be teams already interested in him, because the fact we got him from Bundesliga side Darmstadt, it's a real statement of intent, isn't it, from Birmingham. So a really good defender for League One, and just superb to see how the team played. And I guess looking to previous history against Leyton Orient, it's a team we haven't had too much recent history against. I mean, the last time we played them was 2002 in the League Cup, which we beat them 3-2. And the time before then, for fans that can remember, it was 1995 in the Auto Windscreen Shield Southern Final. It's a bit of a mouthful to say, I know. But we beat them 4-3 on aggregate over 2 legs. A really tight encounter. And then in that Auto Windscreen Shield campaign, we went on to beat Carlisle in the final and lift that trophy, which I'm sure Birmingham will sure to look to repeat, because now it's the Bristol Street Motors Trophy and we get that campaign underway next month. So it's a competition we've got history in. Leyton Orient have got history in having played them, and hopefully we can look to balance out the form. And I mean, in the League Cup this season, Leyton Orient are through to the next round, so they've not lost all their games, so they're still going to be a threat. And to get more information on Leyton Orient, we're going to cross over to Steve, who reports on Leyton Orient quite a lot. I spoke to him in different preview videos before. He's a really nice guy. Let's have a look at what Steve had to say ahead of this Leyton Orient game.
Hello, this is Steve from the Orient Outlook podcast. Looking forward to welcoming Birmingham City to Brisbane Road on Saturday. So just giving my thoughts so far on this season. We've only played 2 games, that's pretty hard to call And when those games have been against Bolton at home and Charlton away, you couldn't really ask for a much tougher start in League One, followed by the visit of yourself. So it's been a very tough start for the O's. In terms of the performances, though, they've not been too bad. Been unlucky to lose both games. Only lost both games by a single goal. Home to Bolton, we had two shocking goalkeeper errors and lost the game 2-1. Had it not been for that, I actually think we would have maybe even beaten Bolton, or at least got a point. So we were fairly unlucky at home to Bolton. And away to Charlton on Saturday just gone, we conceded a silly 93rd minute goal to lose the game 1-0. So we've played fairly well, although unspectacular. I think it's fair to say. I think most fans going into this one probably would like an easier opponent than a team who've just come down and taken 4 points from 6. But those are the breaks. That's the way the fixture list works. In terms of kind of the players who I think might affect the game for Orient on Saturday, I think Charlie Kelman up front has looked very good since we've got him back. He's arrived on loan for the season from QPR. We had him 2 years ago, and he'd done okay. Nothing in terms of a goal scoring record that you'd look to kind of think he was worth getting back, but so far looked like a fantastic player. In the 2 years that he's been away, has really come on physically, and in terms of his decision making as well. He's already got 2 goals this season for us and has looked really good. So he'll be a threat. We've got Dan Adji, who had a really good season when he played last season, although he didn't play much due to injury. Has looked good this season. We've got high hopes for him. He'll be playing on the left, just off Charlie Kelman. He's not had a goal yet in the league this season, but is a very dangerous player. And then we've got Ollie O'Neill, who signed in January from Fulham, a good little tricky winger. Again, had a really good impact towards the end of last season. Not really found his feet so far this season, but still early days, and hoping he'll give you some trouble on Saturday. And I guess finally, a recent acquisition who'll be making his home debut on Saturday is Jamie Donnelly, who we've got on loan from Spurs, who apparently Birmingham City were also interested in. So he made his debut away to Charlton, showed glimpses of his quality, which we know he's got in abundance. Got taken off after 70 minutes, clearly not fully fit to do the 90, but he looks really exciting. So we do have a lot of threatening players, hopefully, who will be able to give you some problems. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to do that. In terms of kind of my thoughts on the game, I think it'd be a really difficult game. I think Birmingham will end up winning League One, although I think it will take them time to really kind of find their feet to get going. Although saying that, I think drawn 1-1, so not doing too bad, obviously. But I think we'll give you a game. I think it'll be close. I can see both teams scoring in the game. Unfortunately, I do think Birmingham City will win the game. I've got a feeling it'll be 2-1 Birmingham. I can definitely see both goalkeepers having to pick the balls out of their net. But I think it'll be an enjoyable game. We like to play football. We don't really punt it long. We like to play patient build-up, flowing moves. So I think it should be a good game of football. And hopefully we can do ourselves proud and not take a pasting. But I'll take a point. I'd happily take a point. But I do think Birmingham City will just have too much for the O's on Saturday. But look forward to seeing you. Great club. I hope you're not in League One for too much longer. I mean, you've made some amazing signings. I think it would be the biggest kind of game of our season at home, definitely, with your visit on Saturday. So safe journey down, everyone. Jolly.
And that was Steve there, Leyton Orient reporter, with our lowdown on what's happening at Leyton Orient. In terms of the Blues team news, I mean, I don't think there's going to be many changes from the Wycombe game. We played really well in that game. It's just the defensive side that I'm still a little bit wary about. I know that Peacock Farrell hasn't exactly made many saves, but a lot of that's not really his own fault. I mean, the shots that he has faced on target have been pretty unstoppable, haven't they? And his distribution is something I've been really impressed with. So I'm all for Peacock Farrell staying in the team for now. Allsop done well against Charlton, but I'm sure we're going to see Allsop get a lot more game time with these cup competitions we're in. And in terms of the back four, I don't think that's going to change, is it? Dion Sanderson might find it a bit hard to get back in the team now with Christophe Clara performing the way that he has. And the two holding midfielders, Paxton Ho and Leonard, I've mentioned them before, really composed on the ball, really good so far. But as the season goes on, I imagine they will have periods of time where they don't start the games because of just the sheer volume of games that we're going to have. The midfield three in behind Alfie May, Yokoyama and Luke Harris, really impressive, weren't they, against Wycombe, with Yokoyama coming off the bench and Luke Harris being someone that stayed in the team, with fans perhaps questioning what he was able to do in that Wycombe game and the Charlton game, because he wasn't exactly involved on the ball until his goal, but his pressing was really impressive. And I think that's something that a lot of Blues fans have picked up on Twitter, where his intensity in the press, the fact that he's just getting in the defenders' faces, causing them problems, high intensity, that's what we want ultimately. So if Luke Harris is fit enough to remain in the team, then I'm all for it. Keshi Anderson, someone who was on the fringes of the team last season. I think someone that suffered from the amount of turbulence we had with the managerial situation as well as his injuries. So as much time as Keshi Anderson can get on the pitch, I'm all for it. As with Siriki Dembele and Tyler Roberts, they weren't really included in the squad, were they, for Wycombe, which I find fascinating because they are good players, but ultimately with the amount of good players we do have now, it's going to be a test, isn't it, for who can get themselves in that matchday squad, let alone the starting 11. So as I've said on the Blues Focus podcast with Tommy earlier this week, make sure to check out if you haven't already, the competition that is up for grabs with places in the team, it's just so good to see, isn't it, with the amount of quality players we've got, as I've mentioned already, and Koji Miyoshi, who I'm yet to mention, someone that I'm sure will attract interest coming into the transfer window deadline, and he's someone that could start the game, couldn't he, against Leyton Orient, so quick, fast and dynamic. And then up front, you've got Alfie May, the man that, well, he won a PFA award, didn't he, earlier on this week, which is really good to see. He's in a picture with Erling Haaland and Rodri, which is keeping himself in good company, I'm sure, maybe picking up a few tips on how to improve his game. And yeah, Alfie May is a star man, isn't he, so far? And a lot more goals to come, sure. And be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe on this video. Make sure to leave a comment of what you think the score prediction is going to be ahead of this highly anticipated game, Blues versus Leyton Orient. I'm going to go over 2-1 Blues. I'm still not sure about the clean sheet, like what I said on the podcast earlier this week, but my hopes are still high that we're going to get 3 points, going to progress up the league, and hopefully we're going to go into those automatic spots in no time soon. My optimism may be dampened come Saturday, but the main thing is that I'm happy now, and we're heading into this fixture with a lot more optimism than a lot of fixtures last season. So I'm sure you guys are enjoying League One as much as I am so far. I'm sure there's going to be dips and curves, but we're all for the ride, aren't we? And as I said before, like, share, comment, subscribe on the video, and most importantly, keep right on.